Now I'm going to say a few more words at the end of the panel discussion to talk more about Friends of Seattle and how our members can get involved in our work. But for now, suffice it to say that we're a political organization that wants to stand up and say we can and should do better on certain issues. And we're prepared to tell our leaders that we're not doing good enough in some circumstances, but also when they have the courage to stand up for what's right, to say thank you and give them the support that they need to make those ideas into law. So our moderator, C.R. Douglas, is going to be our main host this evening. C.R. is the host of Seattle Inside Out on the Seattle Channel. He's a contributor to crosscut.com. And also I hear he's a great neighbor. A friend of mine was saying, oh, you're going to have C.R.? This is great. He's such a great neighbor. So we're lucky to have him and to be spending the next hour with him. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce C.R. Douglas.
I live in multi-family housing. I have no idea which neighbor you're talking about, but the last person below me moved out because I was too loud. So I walked too fast. I walked too hard. It's not my music or anything. Anyway, it's great to see you all. If you watch the Seattle Channel, and I hope you do, we talk a lot about this kind of stuff. And if you watch the Seattle Channel regularly, you know that I talk to the mayor every month. It's a fun chance to have viewers call in. We have emailers, and I get a chance to kind of, hit them with some hard questions. Tonight, he won't be taking questions, unfortunately, because he's got to go. But he is here because he's interested in this issue. It's hard to find someone who's more involved in transportation in the city and the region than this guy. He's in charge of our roads. He's in charge of, our streetcars. He's even the new head of Sound Transit's board, so he's got a regional role to play in transportation. So please give it up for the mayor of the great city of Seattle, Greg Nichols.
Thank you. I want to first thank the panelists for being willing to come and talk to us a little bit about an issue that the public is starting to look at the same way they look at the weather. And that is, everyone talks about it and no one does anything about it. But the fact is that there are some things that are happening. They're happening too slowly and there's too little going on, but there are some things that are starting to happen. One, if you've been out to the airport recently, you've seen the light rail construction coming along. If you go down Martin Luther King Way, it is absolutely transformed with the light rail line, and you will soon be seeing light rail cars down there, testing the light rail cars and all of the systems there. And about a year from now, that first line, which I have worked on for 20 years, will open up. Seems like it takes a long time to get things done in our region. The first streetcar opened up in December, the first modern streetcar. We're really proud of that, and whatever you call it, just make sure you ride it. We had Transit Now that passed the voters a little over a year ago that invests in Metro and helps us not only catch up on what Tim Eyman took away, but actually start to add service over and above what he took away. We had the Bridging the Gap proposal, which provided money for the first time really to fix up our bridges and our streets to keep them from falling apart, but also to start building sidewalks and bicycle lanes. We now have a new bicycle master plan that is one of the best in the United States, and we have a pedestrian master plan underway, and money to actually make things happen. So at the local level, things are moving along. But when it comes to being a region and figuring out how we're going to fix this transportation problem, we are of a couple of different minds. Proposition 1 lost. Some people feel good about that, some people feel less good about that, but we have a challenge of figuring out what next. Were the voters saying they don't want anything to happen with transportation? I don't think so. That's sure not what I hear. Were they saying no to transit? I don't think they were saying no to transit either. And so the Sound Transit Board is working very hard to put a ballot measure together for 2008. Because in 2008, we have the opportunity to have the broadest possible electorate, and that means young people voting, and young people believe that they will actually live to see the results of some of these projects. And therefore they tend to vote yes. And I think that we learned that lesson in 1995 when we lost with the first Sound Transit vote. We turned around in 96 and we won overwhelmingly. So we're working hard to get there, and we're going to need to hear from you about what needs to be included in that. Light rail to Northgate, light rail to Bellevue, bus, commuter rail, other pieces of that system. And this conversation here, I think, is a great way for us to kick that off. How are we going to build a 21st century transportation system? A way for people to live in proximity to where they work so they can walk. And their toughest transportation decision is what color shoes do I wear on that walk, so that they can bicycle safely, and so that they can live and work with transit as opposed to automobiles. So let's get the conversation underway. Thank you for being here tonight. There's some important basketball and other great things going on. You chose to be here. You're going to help us chart the future. Thank you.